All right, so this video is focused on attendance, and it is super important that we are taking attendance every day, every class period, because we need to make sure we are keeping our students safe while they are on campus, and we need to know where students are throughout the day. So, the first part of attendance is when students arrive on campus. Every day, you need to take attendance through Infinite Campus in your homeroom class by 8:35. Miss Parrott is going to check this daily to make sure that it is completed, and those of you that do not have it completed will have a follow-up message sent. Please hold yourself accountable to make sure that this is done so that we have an accurate count of who is on campus and who is not. The next part of this that is not listed on the screen but is super important is making sure that you are taking attendance in your classroom for each of your classes. Now, attendance is not going to be logged through Infinite Campus. You'll just want to keep a paper roster or some way that you are going to keep track of which students are present during your class period so that if you are ever asked, you have an accountability measure to know which students were present and which were absent. With that comes our students that are absent. So if a student is absent, notes need to be turned in using the folder that Ms. Parrott will provide for you during the opening meeting. She has a very specific process for students to turn in attendance notes because now those notes do impact student attendance. I'm sorry, a student's grades. And so once they turn in a note, if they turn in a note, if it is deemed excused, it's something that's approved, those students have 3 days to make up assignments with no penalty. After that 3-day window, students can continue to turn assignments in following our late work process and procedure. That information can be found in the grading policy video. If an absence is unexcused, this is something that is district policy that we are going to be enforcing. So if a student has an unexcused absence, they are not able to make up assignments for that day. They will receive a 0 in the grade book for unexcused absences, and that 0 will stand. We will encourage them to do the work and to learn the material, but they will not receive credit in the grade book. All right, the next part of this is going to be tardies. So for tardies, you are going to not have to do anything for students who show up late to school. Those tardies will be logged through Raptor, the sign-in system that students use at the front desk. Ms. Parrott will then update tardies in Infinite Campus so that we have an accurate count of which students arrive late on campus and how frequently they are arriving late to school. What you will have to track and monitor are when students show up late to your class throughout the day. Please make sure you log tardies through Educator's Handbook if they show up late to your class after they have arrived to school. So if a student is late, please allow them in. It is a safety concern to leave them out in the hallway, so allow them in your classroom and then document the tardy through Educator's Handbook. If a student is tardy to your class 5 times, after the 5th time, it becomes a major referral. So look at the discipline video for additional information on minor versus major incidents and make sure that you are familiar with how to do that system, Educator's Handbook, so you can document these correctly. The next thing is hall pass. Anytime a student is in the hallway, they are required to have a signed, dated, and time-stamped hall pass and can be asked by any staff member for that pass. If a student is seen without a pass, they are going to be considered out of area, which is going to be documented through Educator's Handbook.